Hey, what do you say? Welcome on in to the Run In Podcast, brought to you by figurecollections.com. My name is Tommy Paradise.
It's showtime, folks. It's your boy DJ coming up here live from the hot ass rafters here in California.
Yeah, what the hell were you telling me? It's like 80 degrees over
with
there?
No breeze. 80 degrees with no breeze. So I'm not bragging that it's warm. I'm saying it's that miserable kind of heat. I almost want it to be 50 degrees right now.
Yeah, guys, welcome in to another episode. Like I said, man, it was like 50 and rainy and depressing here today. Welcome into another episode of the Run In Podcast. It's episode number 43, the Richard Petty edition of the Run In Podcast. Good show tonight for you guys. Of course, we're on the road to Wrestlemania. We've got an interview with Mike Herman from Retro Studios.
Yes, sir.
Which is putting out the game Retro Mania, which is now available on Steam and actually on Xbox and on Nintendo Switch, and will be available for you any day now on PlayStation. So me and Mike had quite the conversation last Friday. Switch, when we had the conversation, we'll talk about this more in the episode, but when we had the conversation, Switch wasn't available yet. He did hook me up with some codes for Switch, so we're going to give those away a little bit later on in the show.
Always
maybe like right around the interview time.
We just spoil these listeners. Always giving something away.
Always giving something away, man. Phil Gentile from the Fig Cave once called me Mother Teresa because I like to give away so much shit. So, yeah, we got. Let's see here, man. We got the Switch codes for RetroMania. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Oh, it's also March Madness. We're doing our Munch Madness bracket. Yes. I've been slacking, to be honest with you, with the results and getting us. We're into the Sweet 16, I think. Oh no, we're into the Elite 8. That's right. We're into the Elite 8. I haven't posted the most recent standings, but I will. Probably by the time this is out. This comes out on Friday, so we'll probably post them actually on Friday. And then you guys will see who the Elite 8 is, and then we'll bang those out. Then we'll do the Final Four and the championship. Elite 8 right now is Chick-fil-A, Longhorn, Five Guys, and Chipotle. And then I believe Waffle House beat Cheesecake Factory. And I believe, to the dismay of DJ, In-N-Out beat Red Lobster. Texas Roadhouse beat Little Caesars, and Wendy's beat Jersey Mike's. But I will confirm on our social media Friday when this comes out. So stay tuned for that. Of course, we're doing our countdown to WrestleMania. We're doing 32 wrestling T-shirts to WrestleMania. Posted at Iron Sheik one today. DJ's doing 30 different WrestleMania or figures leading up to WrestleMania. We're almost a week away, man. It's crazy how quick WrestleMania is coming fast. What else we got going on here? We got our Pro Wrestling Tees store. Obviously, if you guys want to support the show, you can do that over at prowrestlingtees.com/runinpod. That's the best way to support the show. And then Kenny's Corrections. No Kenny's Corrections this week. We're like on this ridiculous roll with Kenny's Corrections lately. We're not getting a ton of mistakes. We're doing good.
Don't worry, it'll be like that accident day counter at factory, and then one day it'll go back to day one.
we've had no mistakes in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. Some sad news too from Kenny. We might tonight might be the last edition of Kenny's Impact Minute because Impact is moving to Thursdays. We record on Thursdays, so we're not sure what the hell we're gonna do. We have talked about just sending him the link to StreamYard and having him jump on here and seeing how that goes, but we'll see what happens. Stay tuned to find out what happens with Kenny's Corrections. Please subscribe, write a review on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Tell a friend, help us grow. DJ, you got anything else, man? What are you drinking over there? You got some Proper 12 flowing?
I do got a little bit of Proper 12, and because of this heat, though, I was a little bit, I was a little bit tired, so I figured I'll also have this on backup.
Oh shoot, you got a bang going too. What flavor is that? Star Blast?
It is Star Blast.
I like the Star Blast. I got a black cherry vanilla flowing right now.
So I got them like to even myself out here. I got them.
That's right. That's the Tommy Paradise school of being a doctor. I don't know the actual term because I'm not that smart. But yeah, that's what I do a lot of times with trivia is I'm having a couple drinks. Got to level out that heartbeat. I have a bang when I start, and then the drinks regulate it, so I'm good to go. I'm awake and flatlined. So,
hey,
oh man, this interview with Mike Hoffman from Mike Herman. I did that the last time we interviewed him. I kept calling him the wrong last name, and he still sent me codes. He's a great guy. He's still.
I messed up on the on WrestleGeddon last week. So
that's right. And actually, we got no flack from that. So thanks, Chris. All right, guys. I think we're good to jump into the ring. What do you say, DJ?
Let's jump in.
All right. In the Ring is brought to you by buyselltradetoys.com. His Instagram, I saw he put up some fire.
He's on fire right now. Like I would go in there right now because
oh yeah, he's got tons of Jakks classics, and not just like not bad Jakks classics or like common Jakks classics. Lots of good ones. So check out
British Bulldog still there.
Yep, they're still there. Greg the Hammer Valentine, Nikita Koloff. One of the rare Sergeant Slaughters is up there. And you guys don't forget, you can use the code RUN10 and save 10% over at buyselltradetoys.com. You can also use it on his Instagram page. Just DM him the code and he'll take the money off for you guys. So we're on the road to WrestleMania. We're in the ring here, me and DJ. You guys know the deal by now. We've narrowed things down to just 3 things that we want to talk about from the weekly shows. And then we'll get into some news and stuff like that as the show progresses. But 3 things for me this week, kicking things off. I'm going to save. I got a big one. I'm going to save it till the end. But Hurt Business breaking up on Monday Night Raw, man. Way too early. The Hurt Business, in my opinion, IMO, one of the best things that Monday Night Raw and WWE had going. And they're just going to pull the plug on it already? Come on, man. Like, what? WTF?
Yeah, I'm not getting I want to see what happens here. Like, I am intrigued to see what happens going forward. But, dude, like you said, like, this is a successful faction. Like, what are you breaking up a successful faction for? And the head guy just won the strap. What are we doing? What are we doing?
It's really in my opinion, it's like the anti AEW, where it's like one of the only factions in WWE right now.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, AEW, there's factions to be had.
It's like Vince just woke up and was like, we're gonna break up Retribution and we're gonna break up the Hurt Business. Fuck these groups. Fuck these factions.
Meanwhile, I think you and I have a faction on AEW.
Yeah, they're just going in opposite directions with the factions, man. I was shocked to see the Hurt Business break up so soon. So soon.
No, it wasn't. Let's see what happens. I think, let's see. Like, maybe it's a storyline. I don't know, but
right.
It wasn't necessary. It still didn't get you any ratings. So, I'm not sure what the deal was here.
What's your first thing on your list here?
I'm like you said, like I'm kind of going minor things first, and then like lead up to like something big on the third one. That's probably how we should do this segment. But I'm gonna go with Bad Bunny's right hand.
Oh, I almost put that on my list.
He threw a nice right hand.
Yeah. I rewound that. I rewound that a couple times to rewatch it. I'm like, did he do that stiff? Did he really get him? Like, what? I don't know. Which means they did a good job. Whatever they did a good job, because I'm sitting there going, did that really just happen? He got the Miz good. He got the Miz real good. Like I said, man, I almost had that on my list. Luckily, AEW's been shit, so they kind of took over. But
well, it's probably like, just like, for example, when you watch the Roddy Piper documentary and how he was upset at Mr. T during the boxing match because he like missed this, like the biggest punch in the match, and Mr. T like whiffs it like really far away. And it's like, no, you need like wrestlers will like, they rather you hit them.
Right. Throw a potato.
Then make it look bad.
Yep.
So they probably were preaching that to him in Gorilla, like, hey, you gotta nail this punch. You got to nail it. Like, it's good because this is like a big moment in this segment.
Right.
And I think he took it to heart.
The Miz was like, just give it to me. Just give it to me right in the mouth.
Right.
Take care of the rest.
Right. I mean, they're pro wrestlers. Like, you're kind of, you got like a good scar over your skin. Like, you can take hits. You know what I mean? Right. So, and this is like, and no disrespect to Bad Bunny at all. He's probably got a little bit. He I don't think he didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw it. Like, so I just wanted to give him some big ups here. Like, I want to give him credit where it's due.
Yep.
Dude, I'm actually did the thing.
Kind of going back to the Hurt Business thing where, let's let stuff play out and see how it goes. I don't really hate the whole Bad Bunny thing at the moment. Like, he's doing a good job. He's not in the way, and I'm not watching his stuff going, oh my God, that was awful. Like, what is he doing? It's entertaining. I think The Miz and Morrison are entertaining with their hip bunny song, whatever it is. Right. Yeah, it's just not as Bad Bunny. The Bad Bunny experiment is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So
right.
We're moving right along here, man. My number 2 is we kind of touched on it a little bit last night on AEW. We got another faction, QT Marshall starting a faction. So what is this? 26 factions we got now in AEW. I'm at the point. This is I'm probably gonna run into my last thing here. I kind of at the point where, like, all right, AEW, you've had your chance. I'm not into it. I'm not like I watch it. Like we've talked about before. I'll watch it and but ever since that pay-per-view, man, I've just been kind of like, what the fuck are they doing?
I'm gonna have to say, like, it's starting to mirror TNA, which is not good,
right?
And then in our group, in our group chat, I put, I usually don't like care about when they put the ratings up, when Alvarez puts the ratings up, but it did shock me to see like AEW 700,000.
Yep.
So right. that's concerning. Like, that is like you've been out this long. You told us all this stuff you were gonna do. You have the AEW faithful that this is gonna run WWE out of business. But that number actually dropped 58,000. I feel like I think it was 758 last week. So, and this is with like a kind of a big show. Like, they had like, to their credit, like, it was a good card, but yeah, like they're not, I don't think they're doing the thing to pull in people is the problem. Like, you have your heart, they're catering to the hardcore audience, but they're not doing anything to bring in the person that's skeptical.
Right. I was thinking this today, actually. I was like, they were the talk of the world of wrestling 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? Whenever Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had their match 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
They have not done anything since that, which, like, you would think. So, like, obviously, you guys know I do these trivia nights. I base trivia on how I did the week before. I base on the next week. So, like, tonight, I feel like I did a really good job last Thursday at the place I do because it was busy this Thursday. More people wanted to come back. That you kind of build something up. That Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa match should have pulled more people in, but they didn't do anything to kind of build on it. I don't even remember if Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker cut a promo last week, and that was it. Because I remember that was like one of my 3 things. So it's like you're doing these here and there, you're doing these great things, but you're not building anything off of it. You're not building anything on it, and you're not. I was a lapsed fan for a long time, but I would still read what was happening. If I'm a lapsed fan now and I'm reading on what's happening with AEW, cool, Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker did this, and then what'd they do the next week? Oh, nothing. The show sucked, or there's nothing to talk about, on the internet or dirt sheets, whatever, about the show. The only thing that the internet's really talking about, except for the marks of AEW, is how bad the show was, like,
or who they're gonna sign.
Right. Or who's the big get gonna be? Like when's CM Punk coming? When's this? It's just they let Andrade go. Let's when's he gonna show up in AEW and be the next best thing? Except Miro's in AEW and he's just sitting there doing nothing. And he's upset about his position in AEW because it's the same exact thing for less money probably than he was getting in WWE. So this kind of, not to steal your thunder here, DJ, but we're still talking about the AEW factions.
Sure.
But I'm going to go into my third thing here, and then you can kind of have the ball. That I said this in our group chat today. Wrestling sucks right now, which normally for like this time of year is usually when I get sucked back in. And it's not just WWE, it's not just AEW, it's all of it. It all is not great right now. It just, all of it has me scratching my head. With even NXT at certain times, I'm like, what are they doing? But NXT overall is still the most enjoyable show. But like I'm saying, man, just the wrestling overall, maybe I'm 38 years old. Maybe it's passing me by. I don't know. It's just like, man, this shit is bad right now.
Right. Well, the only excuse I can give to WWE is that you do you want to hold your cards close to your chest at this point and then have all the big stuff happen on your big show. I get that. Right.
That's true.
I kind of expected this week to be boring. This is what I expected, especially after we had Fastlane. So this was my complaint about Fastlane. It's like, so you had a pay-per-view that you're supposed to do pay-per-view things at, and then have 2 weeks of weekly show before WrestleMania. And so it's like, so what are you gonna do? So I'm like, one of these weeks they're gonna have to, they're gonna have to concede a week here. They're gonna have to redshirt a week, if you will, because like you said, you don't want to give away too much. And there's not a whole lot after those events, our matches are starting to be made now. So what do you do? So now you got to fill 3 hours on Raw, that's the thing about Raw is that you got to fill 3 hours.
Yeah. And all these guys that they're not using, just sitting there.
And which, to their credit, they had people come out and fight Drew McIntyre. I thought, I saw Ricochet come out there and you had Ali and, so they brought some people out that normally don't see a lot of time.
Yep.
And then they broke up going back to your story and breaking up the Hurt Business. Get the tag. So I hope this week, I expect more. I'll just say that. I expect more. I expect I need some storyline for the tag team championships here.
Right.
I think I'm pretty good with what's going on with the world title. I get that. You can put some icing on the cake if you want to, but I'm ready for those matches. But all of these other matches on the undercard here, now it's time to tell the stories to get us to want to tune in for 2 days and 6 hours of wrestling.
Right. It's going to be a fucking long week next week. I'm excited for NXT. I'm just kind of all right, let's do it. Let's get it over with. But that's what I'm trying to that's my thing is I'm usually so amped up Wrestlemania week and I'm just kind of meh this week. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if that changes. All right, man. You had one more thing on your list of 3 here.
I got 2 actually.
You did? Oh
yeah. You
my bad.
2. So one of the things. So I'm gonna give AEW a pat on the back here because they did have something.
No,
good
that's
on
not allowed on this show. You can't.
But then I'm gonna kind of get back on them. I think this is probably a rookie thing as well. But so I really like the main event that happened on Dynamite. We had the return of Chris Statlander. So let's see if that adds a little bit of juice to the women's division.
It should. She's great. It definitely should.
Right. And then you had the other best friend show up in the minivan. So that was like, so there's another tag, like, because I thought the best friends were actually a pretty good tag team. And and I think their tag team division actually was missing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I found a pattern here with the AEW promos. It seems like when they're falling flat, they just start cussing. Like, like they say, I'm not gonna take this shit, or or whatever, like shit, bitch, damn, whatever they can say that getting closest to the F word as they can possibly get to.
Yep.
In a promo to give the promo some juice, like, but otherwise it was like that promo was actually nothing. It's just they just ended up cussing in it, and that gave it a little bit of attitude. So it's like I think we're starting to see the difference when you have a company that actually, like, they have a performance center that they actually have the performers go to and practice and really, and have somebody that is not, like, I think it is kind of problematic that the people running it's the inmates running the asylum. Like, you have performers that are running this.
Yeah.
So if I'm Chris Jericho, to be like in his heart, like way deep down in there, why would I teach you how to take my spot?
Right.
Okay. So I think we're seeing that. I think we're seeing that. Because you see these big chunks of missing from these people that have they're gonna get there. Like, I feel like some of these people are gonna be superstars. But there's that couple of things missing about being on TV that they don't have yet. Yeah. And I don't think that they're learning it.
Right. It's funny, you're saying, like, you're using the term inmates running the asylum. There's another company I think that did that once, and they did not do well.
Are we talking about 2000 WCW?
Oh yeah. So hopefully it doesn't. I don't want, like, I've said it before on the show, like, I don't want that to happen. I want AEW to do good.
I want another company, like you said.
Yeah. I want there to be competition. It's hard to get into it right now. And I think somebody sent this to us. I forget who, but it was on Jim Cornette's podcast, and I'm paraphrasing here.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something to the effect of AEW is supposed to be an alternate to WWE, or AEW is supposed to be an alternate to WWE, not an alternate WWE. And I think we're kind of getting down that road, and I hope not. I hope not.
We're seeing people, like, dress like the other like you're seeing them actually make characters that are mirrors of WWE characters. Like, I mean, you have Red Velvet coming out looking like Sasha Banks, for example. Yep. So you can't do, like, you're like, you can not like Jim Cornette all you want to.
Right.
But he is a genius wrestling mind. He is. There's no going around that. Like, yeah, there are some things that he'll come out of left field that is kind of douchey. And I get you. Like, I get that. But the man knows his wrestling. He's been in it. Like, people that have been in it and been successful, I'm going to take their opinion. Yeah. And he's been right most of the time. So, I mean, let's compare. Do we really want to compare him to Dave Metzler about who's been right and who, like, been right on their opinion and who's been just kind of, kissing ass? Yep. So I'm telling you, like, this is, like, they gotta get this under control now. Like, we talked about it before their pay-per-view. I'm like, this is their chance. Like, this is a big pay-per-view. This is their chance to bring in all of these people that are saying, yeah, I'm going to watch this. And I don't like 700,000 on their main show. Yep. Crazy. So,
hopefully they figure, like I said, man, hopefully they figure it out, and WWE does get some competition. But all right, man, you got one more thing here on your list.
And it's the stand and deliver card. Like, you just talked about NXT being, like, for you, it's the best show in wrestling, right?
Yeah, I love it.
and they're coming out with this pay-per-view that I think is low key. Like, I don't think enough people are saying this. Like, this is low key a badass card. Like,
yeah.
It's not being talked about enough, I don't think.
I mean, I kind of said it last week. More excited for this NXT show than I am Mania. I mean, just looking at the card here real quick, like Walter and Ciampa.
For the ship.
Io and Raquel Gonzalez. Dude, even Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way is going to be amazing. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Johnny Gargano in the Gauntlet Eliminator. Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. That's going to be a banger. Like, it's going to be good, man. I'm stoked for. I'm actually sad I have to work both these nights.
Oh God, oh God.
So I'm gonna have to DVR it or watch it on the network or whatever. But
you know they're gonna throw Dexter in there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Thursday and Friday, and we'll be recording during the second one. So you get some live reaction from us.
I'm about to say you're gonna give live, like next podcast you're gonna have live reaction of us because we are definitely doing both. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Yep. So. All right, man. Anything else as far as the three things go?
Man, we are going to be 30 minutes.
I know.
And have gotten through in the ring.
It's a little less than that, though, because we had a false start there in the beginning.
That's right.
So real quick, let's get a little word in from our sponsor before we hit the news. Guys, how many figures do you have in your collection? 20, 50, 100? What about 43,000 figures? What? 43,000 figures. FigureCollections.com has a database of 43,000 action figures and toys, allowing you to search by character or series. You wonder how many freaking Undertaker figures there are? I'll give you a hint. It's over 300. You can see pictures of almost all of them by searching Undertaker in FigureCollections.com database. FigureCollections.com has been around since 2007, providing the best figure information, deals, and videos. You can get all the info over at FigureCollections.com. Check out the figure database today. It's FigureCollections.com. All right, and thanks again to FigureCollections.com for sponsoring us. If you're looking for the Nick Aldis Cella retro figure, you can go to FigureCollections.com/store and grab it right from his eBay store. Some big stuff coming from Jack over at FigureCollections.com soon too. So make sure you stay tuned. And because he is a sponsor of the podcast, we're going to be able to be one of the first ones you hear it from and give you all kinds of special discounts and stuff for it as well. So real quick here, DJ, before we hit the news, Impact is officially moving to Thursdays. So we got to hit you with one more Kenny's Impact Minute. We don't know if there's going to be another one. So this could be the last one ever because Impact is going to be on Thursday nights. So here is your last, maybe, Impact Minute ever. Never forget.
It's your boy Kenny, and this could possibly be my last time reporting the highlights of Impact Wrestling for Tuesday as they move to a whole new night on Thursdays. But this Tuesday, we had action for Fire and Flavor as they took on Neca and Havoc to pick up the win to show why they're still the tag team champions in the women's division. You had Ace Austin and Matt Fulton taking on TJP and Josh Alexander, with Ace Austin getting the victory. And you also had a very tribute moment as James Storm wrestled his 1,000th match in Impact Wrestling, with getting the win over Eric Young. There was no appearance by Rich Swann. There was a little cameo by Kenny Omega, but not too much to talk about. Hopefully I catch you guys again soon. Never know, I might end up just popping in on the podcast next week and giving my live views of Impact, since they are now moving to Thursday nights. Guys, thank you for your time. Now back to you.
All right. And thanks, Kenny, for the Impact Minute. It's been fun. We'll find something else for you to do.
I want him to just pop in. I kind
of do too. I kind of think we might just that that might be the thing is we just have him pop in when it's over and gives a quick rundown.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk some wrestling news here. RVD, it was official this week going into the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame was taped this week. The Nikki Bellas,
pretty much. The Rockers, the Shawn Michaels.
No way, man. Brie is way hotter than Nikki, in my opinion. Maybe not now that she's had two kids, but
I weren't into the Bellas, but.
Anyway, Bellas were posting pictures that it was taped. I think it was Wednesday it was taped, or Tuesday maybe, of this week. So I'm excited to watch it. I always enjoy watching the Hall of Fame, believe it or not, except when like Hillbilly Jim's up there thanking his mama and Mr. T is thanking their mamas 300 times. But I'm looking forward to taking that in. RVD, man, interesting choice for the Hall of Fame. I think he definitely is more worthy than the Great Khali. I hope this actually means we get an updated RVD Elite. He's only got that one Elite, which is super expensive right now. So I'm hoping that him getting.
They usually do the Hall of Fame figures.
That line is not is discontinued. It's all it's all Legends now. But I mean, Jeff Jarrett got put in the Hall of Fame, and we don't have his. We don't have an Elite of him yet. So hopefully down the road. But
yeah,
you wouldn't buy a Jeff Jarrett Elite?
I said, who wants it? Is what I said.
Yeah, you don't sound like you don't want one.
I don't.
A Jeff Jarrett?
No,
man.
Only Jeff Jarrett. So okay, I'll tell you what.
That heat is getting to your head.
If they make it where he has like the flashing glasses.
Hell yeah! New generation. I want a new generation Jeff Jarrett
I'll get that one.
Owen Hart tag team partner Jeff Jarrett and a Slapnuts Jeff Jarrett.
Oh Jesus!
I need three Jeff Jarretts in my life. Three Jeff Jarretts in my life.
Oh God!
But anyway, the week of wrestling coming up. We talked about it a little bit in the three things. It's huge. Network, more stuff getting removed from Peacock. I finally dabbled on the Peacock. Yeah, you did. Yep, you called it, man. You said the Nation of Domination stuff was going to get the Triple H or the DX Nation of Domination stuff was going to get pulled, and this week it did. Can't wait to see Kai and Tai chopping Val Venus's penis off.
Oh my God!
No pun intended. That's going to get cut next.
Any bra and panties matches?
Yep, bra and panties matches.
They're gone.
Man. Oh, I don't know if they are. I said it, but they probably are. But then there's like some freaking serial killer documentary on there. I forget which serial killer, but I was flipping through there, and the dude's all like dressed up in clown paint. And is it Charles Manson? I forget. But yeah, on Peacock.
Oh,
I'm like,
I did see that. I didn't watch it, but I did see the advertisement for it.
I actually thought it was like a Joker thing. Real quick, I was like, wait, Joker's on here?
Right. Isn't that WB?
Yeah, man.
On HBO Max?
Just let the shit live. Like, just I don't know if I'm gonna like this Peacock thing, man.
I'm like, just right now in society, it's like, whatever happened to if you don't like something, just either fast forward or turn on something or click on something else now. Like, it's even easier now to look at something else. Right.
There's a million things to look at. Why you got to look at the stuff that offends you? My thing is like, did anybody actually complain about it, or are they just doing this before somebody complains about it?
They're doing it before somebody complains. I know this is what's happening.
Speaking of the network, Beth Phoenix is the latest edition of the Icon series. Me and DJ were talking about this before we started. I got about halfway through it. You finished it, right?
I did finish it. And I do. What I like about the Icon series so far, with both of the episodes that they have, is you find out stuff you didn't like. You know, I like finding out these things from the horse's mouth and not from dirt, and not from some dirt sheet somewhere. Like, it's way more fascinating this way. Yeah.
I like the Beth Phoenix one. I had no idea she actually had like an indie run. I literally thought she was just like a female bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. And she just like, they signed her because of that. I didn't realize she actually tried a million times. Yeah. To get signed. And Molly Holly had
boys high school wrestling. and won a couple matches. So,
yep. And Molly Holly had a huge part with getting her signed and stuff. It's pretty good. Check it out if you guys haven't already. It's on the network. Speaking of the network or Peacock, whatever you want to call it now, this is a little controversial. They put the top 50 women of WWE on the network.
Yes.
I knew you were pissed about this. I was just like, I watched it and I wasn't like overthinking it. I was just like, cool, it's a list of the women. I was actually watching it last week while we were recording. And I didn't say anything about it. And I didn't really give it much thought. I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I knew Trish was going to be number one because they're on her jock, but I don't think she deserved to be number one.
I don't either.
But
thank you for saying that. That takes some pressure off of me because I just, again, I'm not like, so when somebody like people like jump too much into thinking that you're hating on somebody. No, right. Trish is one wrestler. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was a big fan, but I just don't think she was the greatest women's wrestler ever. Like, that's
I agree.
And then I had a nice debate in our group about Lita. I was just like, Lita I don't think is the greatest wrestler ever either. But
she came in at number 8.
And they were bitching about that. And I was just like, whoa, wait, like Lita, are you guys forgetting what wrestling was like when Lita came along? Like, she was doing lucha libre stuff no woman was doing. Like, nobody was doing that. And
I remember,
I'll just say, like, somebody said, her moonsault sucked. I was like, that's like saying Lisa Leslie dunks were weak. Like, that's the equivalent to me.
I agree with you. I remember seeing Lita for the first time when she came out with S.A. Rios and seeing her do the Hurricane Rana or the moonsault. I was just like, whoa, what is, like, her looks didn't like pull me in. I mean, obviously
it wasn't about her look. No,
it was not about her looks. But yeah, I thought Lita should have been higher up. I think Asuka should not have been in the top 5, and I think Lita should have been. I think Lita should have been in the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Trish should have been number 1. I would have given.
It's a hard one. Like, that's why I can't even really, like, so that's why I'm not really upset that Trish got number 1, because just like we say on this show, okay, if you don't agree with something, then what? Then what was your
right?
Who
what
should be
would you have done instead? Right. I will not agree that who did I just see here? Sable should be number 16. Hell no. Sable should not be number 16.
No, and that's where I was just like, because wasn't she above, like, say, Jazz and Jackie?
She is above Paige, Shayna Baszler, AJ Lee, Natalya, Rhea Ripley, Michelle McCool, Stephanie McMahon, Luna Vachon, Io Shirai, the Bellas, Milena, Ivy, Bull Nakano, Naomi, Kairi Sane, Jacqueline, Gail Kim, Carmella. Do I need to keep going? Bianca Belair,
you don't.
Nia Jax, Maurice. Yeah, Jazz was 38.
Yeah. So Jazz 38. And for folks that are too young, like, go look up Jazz, and she basically could do what Beth Phoenix does, did.
Mae Young's not on this list.
Mae Young is not on the list.
Neither is, like, Wendy Richter.
Wendy Richter's not on the list.
I'm looking at it here.
And she's like, in my opinion, Wendy Richter was, like, basically the 80s Hulk Hogan of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, and it's one of those, if you don't know, go look it up. Like, go look at WrestleMania 1. Bull Nakano, for example, in my opinion, should be in the top 10. Like, I think easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Too much recency bias in this list.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just, I think they should have done like the NBA when they did their 50. They didn't put any numbers on anybody. They just had them all walk out to the court with their 50 greatest player jacket on. No,
I like
numbers.
that. I like that idea.
That would have been better. Is Natalya mad about this, by the way?
Probably. She's mad about everything except showing off her boobs on Instagram. But my thing is there's like no they don't tell you what like they're like when you watch this thing, they don't say here's what this is based off of. It's just like here's our top 50 women wrestlers of all time. There's no like context to it. There's no requirements or anything. That's what bothered me about it. But
yeah, I'd like to. We might have to do a show. Like we might have to like one of our bonus shows. Like we might have to do some ranking shows. And I think that would be nice and fun.
April 13th, NXT officially moves to Tuesdays. So we're going to have wrestling every single day of the week. Monday will be Raw, obviously. Tuesday will be NXT. Wednesday, AEW. Thursday will be Impact, and Friday will be SmackDown. So,
so this will be interesting to see the number for both NXT and AEW on these nights.
Right.
Now there's really no excuses. Like, so you don't even have somebody cutting your audience in half.
Right. Their numbers, AEW's numbers should go up. If they're
still at 700,000, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
This was announced today. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal isn't even going to be on the WrestleMania card. It's going to be on SmackDown on Friday. And there's 22 guys in it as of right now. Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric, Grand Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, Jey Uso, Kalisto, King Corbin, Lince Dorado, Mace Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucker. Should we be excited about this? What's that?
I said Tucker makes an appearance.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't like that it's on the SmackDown show. I think there's plenty of room for this on one of the WrestleMania nights.
WrestleMania is 2 nights. Why is this on SmackDown? And why
6 hours of wrestling and we couldn't put the Andre the Giant Battle Royal in there?
Yeah, and why is it these guys?
And then is the Mae Young Battle Royal going to be on Raw?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, dude. That's a very good point. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, man. I love the Battle Royal. It's stupid, but it's I just love it. It's entertaining.
Tradition. It's tradition. The first WrestleMania and on had Battle Royals. Right, WrestleMania 2 had a very good one, I thought. I liked seeing the football stars trying to bump in the ring, and that was kind of fun to watch.
The Rock is coming to Fortnite. This is a real thing. He's getting his own Fortnite skin. I almost just said he's getting his own foreskin, but that's another conversation for another time.
He had one, or he still has it. One, I don't know.
Yeah, he is getting his own skin in Fortnite. My kid was asking me about this. So it's coming, man. It's coming. The Rock is literally everywhere. So
that's how you know. So that's it, dude. That's our goal. We got to keep going until we have Fortnite skins. Then we know we made it.
Yep.
And we throw microphones at people and
we'll keep, dude. My kid asked me to play Fortnite with him this week, and I did. I'm so bad. I used to play it when it first came out. I played it quite a bit. I never spent money on it, but I played it quite a bit. And then my kid, so I probably haven't played it in 2 or 3 years. My kid plays it all the time. Asked me to play with him. I'm like, sure, I'll be a good dad. I'll play with him.
Right.
I am not good at that.
Shot in the forehead, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Fortnite player.
Fortnite though, I like what they're doing with these skins. They're getting kids excited about other stuff. Or the players excited about other stuff. My son's excited about the Rock skin. And then they did a Snake Eyes G.I. Joe skin.
I saw that
a few months ago. My son got that. And then he saw that I had the retro figure and I had an extra one. So I gave it to him and he's all pumped about that. So it's kind of turning them on to new, stuff they might not have thought about before. So that's it though for wrestling news, man. We got WrestleMania coming up this week, but the show is flying by here.
45 minutes and
and we're done in the ring.
The wrestling news.
That's right. Let's hit that toy aisle. Walk That Toy Aisle is brought to you by a brand new sponsor, Stack of Cards. That's with a Z, stackofcards.com. Cards are so hot right now. Whether you're trying to invest or resell or whatever you're trying to do, Check out stackofcards.com. Use the code RUN10, save 10% at checkout. They got new stock every Friday. And if you're following along on there, you may see like random free packs and all kinds of stuff. So definitely follow our boy Dion over there at Stack of Cards with a Z. .com.
Looking at them now, like they WWF 1994.
Yeah,
pack.
I saw those.
All right, you got if for the Pokemon guys out there, Pokeball 10 Gold Ultra Ball.
And Pokemon cards are freaking. I don't know what year those are from or whatever, but they're hard to find, man.
I'm trying to say. And then Tron, Silver Surfer, 2016 baseball. So it's just like you guys need to go down.
That's what I like is the retro cards. Like I remember me and my wife went out to LA a few years ago, and we went to a old toy store, like a vintage toy store, and they had old like WrestleMania 3 cards, New Kids on the Block cards, like Rocky 3 cards.
You would see the New Kids on the Block cards.
No, my wife bought those actually.
I'm sure she did.
She did. I swear she did. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I love those old retro cards. All right. Wrestling news, wrestling toy news. The retros have been hot. Yes. Zombie Sailor signs somebody new. He signed Enzo to his retro line. Now, Enzo is interesting because
you can't teach that.
He's interesting because he was supposed to get one of the Mattel retros, and at the last, I don't know if it's because he got fired or what, but like last minute, it got pulled. So there's like a prototype out there somewhere. But he is now going to get an official Zombie Sailor retro. So pretty cool stuff. We've said it probably every single week that we've been talking about these. I can't wait for these retros. And same thing with Cella Toys. Like they're doing some really good stuff with their retros. We're going to have more news on those shortly. Can't say nothing yet. I got some inside information, but we ain't saying nothing yet. But Zombie Sailor also tweeted yesterday this. Just to be clear, 5 figures will be coming out all at once for our vintage style wrestling figure line. Not 1 or 2, freaking 5 figures dropping at once and shipping all at the same time. Instant collections. So each series, it sounds like, is going to have 5 figures. Right. So I know there's 2 or 3 that Zombie Sailor has that he's putting out that I want already. I know Cella Toys has some.
Is he going to have big cast as well, or
he hasn't announced that yet? I don't know. The only ones I know that he's announced are Enzo, Sabu, Brian Myers, Matt Cardona. That's 4. That's Earl Hebner and Dino Bravo.
So, because I wonder, and the reason why I asked that is because I do want to. When I saw that Enzo and Cass are going to be at that at the autograph show
for Heroes Hideout,
yeah, that made me kind of want. I was like, that kind of made me want to go come back and see you again and go to that show.
There's nobody else really though on that one that's coming that I'm like super interested in, but we'll see what happens. They're adding. They add them as they go.
Mox, like so far it's 3 people, right? Mox and those 2.
Mox, those 2, and Hardcore Holly.
Oh, and Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, check out Heroes Hideout for that information. What else do we got here? Not a lot of news. WrestleMania is coming, so obviously.
I think it's gonna burst open in a couple weeks here.
Yeah. There is a new line of Legends of Lucha Libre from Boss Fight Studio. Yes. We're getting Taya Valkyrie. We are getting Juventud Guerrera. And then another Ray Phoenix and another Penta. So and another accessory.
What was the one with Vampiro?
Oh, maybe that is it. Maybe I'm trying to find it online here, and it's
right.
Like Ringside doesn't have it on their Instagram. So maybe I
remember
wrong.
I wanted to get the Hoovy and I wanted Vampiro.
I'm trying to find
that's a heck of a documentary. If anybody hasn't seen that on Amazon Prime yet, the Vampiro documentary.
I have not seen that.
It's really good.
You know what? Now that you're saying, looking for Vampiro.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll have to follow up next week.
Okay.
Because I cannot find. I don't want to keep people waiting, but I cannot find this new. The new Major Brothers had a picture. This is terrible radio right now. I'm sorry, guys.
I even felt like that's where I saw the picture was it was in their group. That had Vampiro and everybody
right.
just named.
Yep, you're right. It's wave 3.
Ah, okay.
But Vampiro is in it. I can't read it. The thing is too small. I can't read who else is in it, and I can't make it out. So we'll follow up next week on that.
All right.
We'll follow up next week as I'm like putting my chin into the screen on the YouTube video.
I'm sure the YouTube people are loving that.
Yeah.
At least they're taking the thumbs down out of YouTube, so you can't say nothing about it. All right.
AEW, they announced the new wave. We just got gray pictures of Jericho, Jake Hager, Ray Phoenix, Penta, MJF, and Sheeta. Nothing to get excited about yet because it's just the gray renders. So
I'm just getting Sheeta anyway.
I'm not. Yeah, these are easy passes for me, sadly. But let's see here. Okay, and then the other thing I want to talk to you about with wrestling figures. Kind of lost here for a second, but wrestling figures here, real quick. I was listening to the Major Brothers podcast for this week.
Okay,
and I was looking, and I've been looking at this 2-pack here of Triple H and Jeff Hardy.
All right.
What are your thoughts on this 2-pack, man? I'm getting itchy for it. A little itchy for it.
Uh-oh. Is it grabbing you?
A little bit.
I'm not, I guess because okay. Well, I guess for me, this was just a period where I'd never liked that Intercontinental title. Ever. I never liked that title. I did like that jersey though, that Jeff that they have. I will admit to that. I did like that outfit. I don't it's not grabbing me. So see, when I see somebody with it, that's when it's probably like that. Knowing me, when I see people taking their pictures on the gram and everything with them, then that's when I'll be like, maybe I need to get that.
The Major Brothers are talking about it on this week's episode, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I need that. I need it, but I'm probably not unless I see it for super cheap. I'm probably will not jump on it. But man, I'm trying to find this. This is bothering me, the Lucha Libre information, but for the Boss Fight Studios. But I got to let it go. We got to move on.
Let it go. Shake it off.
So yeah, I'm getting itchy for this 2-pack with Triple H and Jeff Hardy. We'll see if I pull the trigger. What's that?
It's on back order on ringside.
Ringside. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm getting itchy for it, but we'll see what happens.
Got fishnet shirt for Jeff too.
Yep.
And
it's got I think the body, this is a weird statement, but the body on it, I think, is a better body for Triple H than the Ultimate. And that's what the Major Brothers mentioned that, and that kind of got me yeah, it's more muscular. It's more, it's
interesting.
It's a little bit better looking. So, all right.
And then we're probably that's probably going to be in the drop. It's a better body for Triple H coming from you.
Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest is coming in a week, April 9th.
Yes.
Mark your calendars for that. I'm sure there's going to be some Transformers information. That's actually where we might get more information on The Rock joining Fortnite. Marvel Legends, Star Wars. I'm sure all that stuff will be in there. And then NECA we need some G.I. Joe news. NECA teased the April O'Neil figure maybe coming soon. The movie April O'Neil figure, which should be coming. They announced that they were going to be doing one. They signed a deal with the actress a while back, maybe in the fall. But they teased something on their social media. It said, you know what comes after March, and it was the Turtles, and trying to be cute with the pun there for April.
Right.
So we'll see what happens there. And dude, I can't believe it was 31 years ago. when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out the other day. Unbelievable. How
that is wow.
Time flies, man. Time freaking flies. Yeah, it says
Where
the last
did
day
that
of March. The last day of March can only mean one thing. April is coming, and it's a picture of the turtles watching the movie with April on the screen. So they're doing like a big deal with that too, like a documentary on making the figure and stuff. Like it's gonna be good stuff. So let's do weekly purchases, and then we'll get you guys over to our interview with Mike Herman from RetroMania. DJ, what do you got for weekly purchases, man?
Man, I didn't get jack really. I mean, I got you, like you know, we discussed, like I did help you out.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, my target is just popping up with Chase $1 Million Mans just falling out of the sky. So
I can't wait to get that in my hand, man.
So I picked up another one, and now your boy Tommy has got himself a Chase $1 Million Man.
Can't wait to get that in my hand. All right, so for mine, I actually got a good amount of stuff here. Mike Lanham.
Oh, you're making up from last week, huh?
Back, baby. Mike Lanham, friend of the show. I don't know if Mike Lanham, friend of the show, hooked me up with a sweet deal on some Hasbros that he acquired. So I got HBK, which I needed for my collection.
You needed
I
that.
got Dusty. Dusty's a little loose, but I'm just using them for display. So I'm not super picky with like the condition, as long as they're not like beat to shit and like different colors and stuff. Like his arms are obviously a little loose. I'm okay with that. Whatever.
Right.
He's just standing
in somebody's fed.
Yeah, he's just gonna stand in a display case though.
He's been delivering elbows.
Scott Steiner.
That's Scotty, all right.
And then I re-obtained the man who brought us together, Razor Ramon.
The bad guy.
But no chain, and the razor on his crotch is worn off, but that's right. Again, they're just for display.
They just
with the
put him in the back. You can put him in the back somewhere.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is like with the Hasbros, I'm not like I don't, obviously, like I said, I don't want them like missing limbs and beat to shit and discolored and stuff. But like I'm okay with them looking like they were kind of played with, because these are the Hasbros are the figures I had when I was a kid. So like I wipe these down with like a just a cloth or whatever to clean them up a little bit, and then I'll put them in my display case, and it's like I kind of like that they got a little wear and tear to them because they're fucking 30 years old, man.
Right. And they're not MOC, so what do you want? Right. What do you want? Yeah, as you're having your own Fed match over there.
And then today, this came out actually today. This Black Series Boba Fett Deluxe Edition. So Target actually had them on their app and store pickup. Man, it was like the easiest transaction ever.
For once.
Recently, right? And then Mike Lanham, in that package that he sent me with the Hasbros, sent me this G.I. Joe lunchbox.
Yeah, I've been seeing those.
It's like half G.I. Joe, half Transformers for those of you watching on YouTube. It's awesome. Not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's a cool piece to have.
Yeah, and then GameStop.
Yep, and this is from Fun. Yeah, it's a Funko product. So, and then last but not least, he sent me this Ric Flair tin.
The tin, all right.
Which is like Topps card tin. From 2007. So there's cards inside it.
How about other cards in it? Okay.
Yeah, some retro cards. And then other than that, man, I got a Ric Flair koozie, which is downstairs. And I forgot who I got it from. So I'm gonna have to post that on Instagram. And then I got the Land Shark. This is freaking huge, from Masters of the Universe.
Land Shark.
And I can't reach them, but I got Hordak as well from Masters of the Universe. So yeah, man, that's it. That's the weekly purchases this week. Back in action here. And I got some stuff coming that I'm pretty excited about too.
Yeah, you done came back.
Yeah, after a no show last week, I'm back, baby. So it's been like there's like literally nothing in the stores right now. It's wild.
There isn't. Like so one Target had nothing, and the other one had like 100 Undertakers and the Chase and 100 Tatankas. Like they fit, like it's literally filled with Undertakers and Tatankas, and then the Chase $1 Million Man just sitting there. I was just like, what's going on here?
I did see Tatanka today in the store for the first time. First time I've seen him.
Right. I'm just not that big on Tatanka, but not, I know there's some completionist out there.
Yeah, I'm not big into that Tatanka. Like I have the one where he's wearing like the trunks, not the pants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only. I don't need another Tatanka. Quick follow up here, just to other toy news. Hasbro Marvel Legends. There's a Spider-Man Retro Webman.
Yes,
that's up for pre-order on Amazon. And then Mezco has a 1 in 12 collective Wolverine.
I saw that too.
If you guys have seen Mezco, these things are, and it includes a defeated Sentinel base with light up features.
Right.
This thing is badass looking. I'm actually a little itchy for this because Wolverine is my favorite Marvel hero ever.
I sent you that 1989 edition Batman to tease you to get you that. I like getting you to buy things.
I didn't pull the trigger on it. I haven't pulled the trigger on any of these yet, but this Mezco is especially with the defeated Sentinel base is very
that's kind of crazy.
Very tempting. So we'll see. I probably won't buy it just because I don't like spending that much money on figures, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Never say never.
Yeah, 155. Woo.
Yeah.
That's a spicy meatball.
All right, let's go to our interview, our RetroMania interview. First ever repeat guest here, Mike from Retro Studios, RetroMania, now available for Steam, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch, coming soon to PlayStation. Enjoy the interview, guys. It was awesome. All right, guys, welcome back into the Run-In Podcast. We've got our first ever repeat guest. He was our first guest and now our first repeat guest. It is Mike Herman from Retro Studios, from the Retro Mania Wrestling game. Mike, I know you're busy as heck trying to get this game out to every console, but thanks for joining us here, man. And what's the latest? What can you tell us about what's going on with this?
No, hey, Tom, thanks for having me on. Yeah, we are busy trying to get out on the last 3 platforms for now, at least. Switch, PS4, and IA Arcade. We're currently out on Xbox. We went live this week. We went live with Steam earlier in the month, or actually the end of February, we went live with Steam. And we're just, we're navigating kind of unfamiliar waters on my part, going through certification process. And for those of you who don't know what that is, basically there's quality control that goes into every release, every video game that the consoles release. And we missed some stuff going in that Nintendo and Sony have pointed out. We got it all on Xbox, and each of the systems, and Steam as well, each of the systems have their own certification process. And most of this stuff we've come into why we would be passed on Xbox and not the other 2 yet. Like the stuff we are struggling with or struggled with on Switch had to do with Joy-Cons, right? So it was specific to Nintendo. The stuff on Sony specific to the DualShock controller. So that was kind of why we were able to release on Xbox already. We actually tested throughout the process with Xbox controllers connected to our PCs.
Gotcha.
So that made that process a little bit easier for us. But we're almost there. Like you said, I am probably number 1 person who wants this out in everybody's hands for sure. The one good thing about launching Steam first in hindsight really was the Xbox release had next to no issues. A couple here and there, but pretty much, the Steam, we had a little bump in the road with what we had our default difficulty level set at, because our testers just got too good at the game, myself being included. So we bumped that down, but still gave you a difficulty slider, which we always had in there to make sure we could ramp it up if you needed it. But that was nice to go through. And then, so for Xbox, we didn't have that issue. And now our Steam reviews are super positive, very positive on the Steam score, which is, above, I think we're sitting at 87% positive reviews. And we're at
awesome.
A 4.7 out of 5 stars on Xbox reviews. So that extra time definitely paid off. And we think it's going to carry through to the Switch, PS4, and the IA Arcade version of the game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love how transparent you are on Instagram, and your social media, YouTube, Facebook, everything. It's almost like you're not afraid to just tell it how it is, and I think that goes a long way. as a consumer goes. Like it's awesome that, I mean, everybody knows about the issues with Cyberpunk, and that came out and kind of probably prematurely with all the issues they were having. I would rather, I mean, I think we talked about this the last time we talked, is like, I would rather have the game be ready to go, not have to be like, oh, it's playable, but I'm waiting for a patch to come out or something like that. So I applaud you, man, for being out there and putting yourself out there and making sure it's good before you guys, put it out into the wild.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was, we thought it was ready, and now we're working with the consoles, and they're telling you you're almost there, but you're not quite there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's easier. I thought it would be easier to explain delays than versus having people really putting pressure on us because it's not even playable. And the only people I really right now feel bad are the people who pre-ordered on Switch, right? Because they've been with us now, for over a year, some of them. And I really wanted it out on Switch. Not that I don't love all the consoles and all the platforms, but those people have been super patient with us. I've gotten a ton of great emails, responses to when we put out, what's going on. You get some angry ones, of course, where, people don't like the way it went. I don't like the way it went either.
Right.
But for the most part, I couldn't be happier with, and I think the transparency has really helped us kind of bridge that gap until we launch. And the other thing that helps a little bit, it may hurt and help, we're getting reviewed so well on Steam and Xbox. So it's like they definitely have something to look forward to.
Right.
But at the same token, I think that may piss people even more off that they have to wait for it. You know what I mean?
I want it now.
Right.
What do you think's been the biggest non-code, development issue that you guys, or challenge, I should say, that you guys have encountered besides the testing process and getting it actually out? What's been the biggest challenge for you guys?
It's now we're just keeping up with all of the emails and requirements. So, and I'll speak to one issue we have on Xbox. That is an issue. I know that wasn't directly the question, but it's kind of relates to everything, where one of the achievements isn't unlocking, right? So, but now we got to go to Twitter, we got to go to Instagram, the Steam user groups, because some people will show up there. I've been looking for the achievement message boards where there's a lot of achievement hunters out there, and trying to get the message out to that we're not ignoring them. We are aware of the issue, and it's just it's a kind of a blessing and a curse nowadays, is there's so many avenues, and everyone kind of has their own social media preference.
Right.
So it's trying to keep everyone informed of everything that's going on all of these different platforms, these social media platforms, message forums, and then there's Discord forums. Luckily, some people, who are a little closer to it, kind of closer fans to the project, know and are helping us spread the word. Like they're super responsive, like on our Steam message forums, we respond to everything we can. And I don't want to come off as ignoring people, so we probably overcompensate. Like I'm answering as many things as I can, just to let people know, like, their investment is worth it. We're gonna, like you said, not even necessarily bugs or anything like that, because we've been pretty good about that. We've had a pretty, I think a lot of developers would be very happy with this type of launch. Anytime I see any one little thing, it bothers me, but I think overall it's gone great. So now it's just listening to feedback. So one of the features we just added on Steam, the Steam build, just because Steam, you can basically issue a patch at your will. You don't have to go through an additional certification process. So we did our own testing internally, and there's like a new feature called a pin release, where you can, if you have somebody in like a bridging suplex or something, a way for the player to release it. And that was a really sought after feature by the Steam users. And we were able to add that really quickly, get it out to them. And now the consoles will benefit from that. They'll get their first patch will include that as well. So it's just stuff like that, and trying to gather all those features and trying to figure out what is the right direction to kind of steer this ship now. Because we have so many feature requests, and it's like, one, we have to prioritize them and get a roadmap out. But it's funny, some issues are so like kind of not controversial, but controversial, where 50% of the people would love a change and the other 50% don't want it to change.
Right. You can't please everybody, right?
Right. So, as much as we can, we're doing toggle switches in the settings to turn things on and off. So we can try to cater that a little bit, but I think just making sure everyone's updated through all the social media. That was my long-winded answer of just keeping everybody informed, just because there's so many avenues people get information nowadays.
Sure. And like I said, man, you've been so good with the information and just being straight with, how things are going. Will the game work on PS5 when it comes out? Is it
Yes.
reverse compatible or whatever they call it, the tech term? What about the Xbox?
What is it? Now you need to throw me for the stump.
Yeah.
The
Is it reverse compatible? Is that
that's not the term.
No?
It's something else, and I'm drawing a complete blank. Backwards compatible, I think.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. So it's running great on Xbox Series X right now, and we expect the same thing for the PS5 as well.
Awesome. Because I got rid of I got a PS5 around Christmas time and got rid of my PS4. So that was one of my big questions was, am I going to be able to play this, or am I going to have to steal my kid's Switch?
No, you should be good. You should be good.
And as far as the iArcade goes, now I've never heard of iArcade until you guys got on this. Are these like the arcade 1-ups? How do these match up to those?
Yeah, so they're pretty different. So I don't know. I'm not sure if we show video. You're gonna do it on YouTube. So behind me is an iArcade.
Yep.
Over that shoulder.
Yep.
So yeah, it is a smaller form factor arcade machine. That's kind of the similarity to Arcade 1-Up. The big difference is it's Wi-Fi connected, and you can get additional games for it from their store. So you can purchase additional games. It comes, I think, with 12 preloaded. The Retro Mania Wrestling one will come with Retro Mania Wrestling, obviously. And you can go to their store and buy, they're adding games every week, and they're trying to do more and more licensing deals. They just got, I think, Dead Cells was added a week or two ago. So they're not just doing old school and classic arcades. They're doing new arcade games as well. So Retro Mania is one of the models they have. They're basically one of the kind of skins, if you want to call it that, but it's not really a skin. It's more baked in than that. But
sure,
one of the flavors, they have a Dragon's Lair one, a Double Dragon one, and then their classic iArcade one as well.
Nice. Yeah, they're good looking machines. I have a couple of the arcade 1-ups. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to get like a smaller arcade, I mentioned that I have the old WrestleFest, and it's it's huge, and it's just sitting in my garage. I have nowhere to put it in the house. But like I have Golden Tee.
I got a spot for it.
Yeah, come and get it. I'm in Connecticut. You can come and get it. Funny story about that real quick. As you being like a video game guy, one of my friends helped me buy that, and I don't even know if I told this story on the pod, but it was in it's in a gauntlet cabinet, and one of my friends is a big arcade guy, and randomly, like right around Christmas time, he shoots me a message. He goes, "Hey, somebody wants to buy your joysticks for WrestleFest because they're original Atari ones." I'm like, how do you even remember that? He goes, "She's gonna give you $400 and buy you a new set of joysticks." I'm like, sold, man. That pays for the game. Like, sold, take it, whatever. But that is just wild to me that kind of stuff goes for like that kind of money and stuff. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with the WrestleFest. It's showing in the garage right now, but like I said, it's just so big. I don't really have any spots for it, but
well, it's all of us clinging to our youth.
That's right.
I want this stuff, right?
That's right. It's funny that my 10-year-old has seen like me and him watched the Twitch of the Major Brothers playing it, and he was saying like he doesn't know a ton of the characters in it, but he was saying that it looks fun. He wants to try it. So
yeah, absolutely, and that's the cool thing. Like my kids actually aren't even wrestling fans. Not that they dislike it, they but they don't really know anything about it, old school, new school, anything. They know like The Rock, John Cena, and Stone Cold, maybe The Undertaker. You know what I mean? So, but they've had a blast playing it, and obviously I have their friends beta testing for me as well throughout the whole process. So, yeah, you don't even need to know the characters to have fun. It's just a fun game to pick up and play.
Yeah, and all the characters look fun.
Right, exactly.
It's definitely. We're looking forward to getting it. I think I'm going to get it for PlayStation for myself, and then I'll get it for Switch for him. But we saw some since we last talked. We saw Chris Bay for downloadable content, Mr. Hughes and James Storm. I love the Mr. Hughes edition.
Yeah,
with the urn. And everything. Is there anything else coming that you can let us in on? Is there any console specific downloadable content that'll be coming, or?
We probably won't. The only thing I would say could be console specific. If Nintendo ever let us use the Pro Wrestling IP
to
get Starman in, like we're asking, we're trying to ask.
That'd be awesome.
So if any from Nintendo hears this and is interested, but that would probably have to be a Switch exclusive. But I think there's no other real wrestling things tied to specific consoles.
Okay.
So I know Soul Calibur. I remember they did like a Darth Vader versus Yoda, something along times, depending on what console. This was years and years ago, but we'll probably keep everything kind of the same on all systems. Like I said, that pro wrestling thing would probably be the exception, but
yeah.
But we have a lot of plans, but we still need to just get through launch. So
gotcha.
What we're doing right now is we're compiling a list so far of the Xbox and the Steam players, and then we'll add the Switch, PS4, and iArcade people to the list. We're just compiling a list of things people want to see, and then we're going to prioritize that, create a roadmap, and then start attacking it. Because I had a huge laundry list when I started this, and we did not finish it. So there's a lot of stuff I still want to add to it. And I'm sure the stuff people are suggesting are probably already on my list, but it'll help me prioritize what we should do next.
Sure. A couple more questions here. And then what has been your favorite character get for the game, or favorite characters to work with as far as the game goes?
That's tough. That's a tough one, because I think I selected great people because I've had zero issues with anybody. I've gotten to know Stevie Richards quite a bit over the last couple months, so over a year now.
Yep.
And a great guy who I consider a friend now. Like we talk regularly.
That's awesome.
And it's funny, I met him, 25 years ago now at this point, maybe more. Because he was a manager at a video game store in the mall that I grew up at.
Okay.
When he was working at ECW.
Wow.
This is before he was in WWE or anything. So I barely, I met him once. I don't think he remembered me from then, but he remembered working at the store, obviously. But really down to earth person. Tommy Dreamer's been awesome, helping me navigate kind of through the wacky world of pro wrestling.
Sure.
Matt Cardona, who I've talked to more recently, is just guy. It's full of energy. Just I don't know if he sleeps. You know what I mean? He's always upbeat, which is awesome. I love everything. But really I can't. Those are three right now, but I could go through everybody. It was really a shame that Animal died last year, because I was talking to him, and he was really excited to help promote the game. And I traded emails with him probably 3 weeks before he passed.
Ooh.
And we were starting to plan stuff out, which really stinks,
That's tough. Yeah.
But he was great. But like Nikita was awesome when I got to meet him for the first time, and I was still scared that he would clothesline me like he did David Crockett. But yeah, everybody's been great. Everybody's been great.
That's awesome. There's that's what I liked about this game, and having you on again. I know we're getting close to it being launched to everything, but I'm everything's so positive with the game. You don't hear any, you're this small company trying to put this game out there for the 35 to 45 something year olds or whatever. And just like with the being transparent, the stories that you have, just everything is so positive with the whole game. It makes it very easy to support it.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going for. I mean, I rather, look, I made mistakes. I'll point them out so people don't have to. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yep.
That's kind of the whole thing I've gone through. It's funny. It's almost like it reminded me of, there was a game a movie Harrison Ford was in Patriot Games, where I think it was Patriot Games, where the president knew somebody who got in trouble, and Harrison Ford recommended the president say, don't say you didn't know him. Say him, oh, you were really good friends with him. You know what I mean? Be honest and just tell it.
Yep.
And it's just like, you're not gonna dodge it. I'll own it. You know what I mean? This is the first time we've developed the game as a company. Well, this is the first time I've developed the game as a company, I should say. Most of the people working with me have, but there are definitely plenty of mistakes made, but I think the kind of the proof is in the pudding, where, if you look at our Steam reviews, you look at our Xbox reviews, we really did a good job, and we're cleaning up anything we missed. We're listening, and we're trying to keep moving forward.
All right. Awesome. One last real question here. And then of course we got to give you a fun question too. What's your personal goal for the future development goals, either of this game or down the road? Now that you've done this one game, are you like, oh man, screw this, is way more work than I thought it was going to be? Or are you like, yeah, man, maybe I could do, is there a game that you have a vision for already, or are the blinders just on and you're just focused on this at the moment?
I mean, definitely I'm super focused on this right now. But with that said, I feel there were definitely the last 2 months have been stressful. Trying to get it out, trying to get through certification. And I think it's probably a lot of that stress was just due to me not knowing the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've learned so much through this. It would be a waste not to do another game.
Sure.
Just because there was so much I learned going through it. You know, I would have a much better idea of how to set release date estimates and you know, how long it was going to take me to get through, you know, certification, for example, and just so many lessons learned. I definitely have other ideas I would love to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I, you know, like a beat 'em up or something. You know, I love the new Turtles, the game that they're coming out with.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that. The new, it's kind of like a 16-bit.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's
no.
16-bit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to go down a
like
wormhole after this.
Yeah, it looks awesome. They just announced, I think, last week or the week before. But I would love to do something in that vein for a property that I would like to do. Maybe something original, but you know, there's some licensed stuff I have my eye on that's never been done before. I don't know if there's a huge audience for it, but I know I would like doing it. So who knows?
All right. I lied. I had one other question. Any plan for like a limited run of the physical edition? I know you guys did the cases for the Switch, but is there any plan to do like a physical run for PlayStation or Xbox or anything like that?
Yep. Yes. So actually, we already have an agreement signed with Limited Run Games.
Okay.
So we are actually meeting, surprisingly, you bring it up, next week to start planning the physical release. So we're several months off on that still.
Yeah.
You know, obviously what they like to do is once you get it on a physical media, no more updates can be made to it. So they like to get it as close to a final version of the game as they can before they do that. And we still have, you know, not necessarily bug fixes, but a lot of stuff we would like to get in there. Like our at a minimum, our first 3 new DLC characters.
Mm-hmm.
If not, maybe some more stuff as well.
Sure. Sounds good. The wrestling fans love their physical media. They want to obviously look behind me. You see, they want to display stuff. So, man, I think that's all I had for the game. Thanks for doing this. I do want to hit you with one of our fun questions that we did this the last time you were on. We try to do it with everybody that we have on. It's a would you rather. It's from our friends over at poddex.com. If you're doing a podcast, they got all kinds of decks of cards to get your conversation started. So, Mike, would you rather put ketchup or ranch dressing on everything you eat?
Ketchup.
Really?
Not even a question.
Okay. I was thinking about it, man, like right before I pulled this card out. I just randomly pulled it and I was like, man, but like ketchup doesn't go on everything in my mind. Like I feel like,
right, but I think ranch dressing goes on less.
Yeah, maybe. I was like thinking about like bacon. I was like, ketchup on bacon. I don't know. But then now that you're saying that, like you could have a burger, like a bacon cheeseburger, and there's ketchup on that.
Yeah.
But I was like, man,
I think there's more food that I would probably eat that I would put ketchup on more than ranch dressing.
All right. Fair enough, man. That was a really fast answer too.
Well, I didn't have to think. I just, you know, from a condiment standpoint, ketchup and mustard are my go-to. So,
yeah, I was gonna ask actually, do you just hate ranch because you said it so fast?
No, I don't. I don't hate ranch, but I do prefer blue cheese over ranch on like wings.
Yes, hell yes, I'm with you there. All right, man. Thank you so much. If you want, go ahead and tell everybody where they can get the game when it's finally out, and your social media, all that stuff, where they can find the updates and everything.
Yeah, so we're out right now on Xbox. So just go fire up your Xbox, go to the store, and you can get us. We're also on Steam right now. So if you're on a PC, you can go to the Steam store and get us there as well. And we'll be on the Switch store and the PS4 store and the iArcade app in the next coming weeks. For all information to the game, RetroManiaWrestling.com. We have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook at RetroSoft Studio.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Can't wait for the game.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. That was our interview with Mike Herman from Retro Studios, RetroMania. Again, by the time this drops, the PlayStation version could be out. Like we recorded that, I recorded that last Friday with him, and the Switch version wasn't out yet. And then Monday, they're like, "Oh, the Switch version comes out tomorrow." So stay tuned because we have codes to give out. So here's what you're going to do. If you want to win a code for a free copy of the Nintendo Switch version of RetroMania, all you got to do is share our post of our new episode in your story on Instagram or retweet it on Twitter, and we'll pick one lucky person who retweeted or shared it in their story, and we'll send them a Nintendo Switch code, so they'll be playing the game for free. And then Mike's going to send over more codes for us once PlayStation is good to go. So if you don't win this time, you might have it next time. And please don't enter if you don't have a Switch. Like just do it if you have a Switch. But yeah, free Switch, free version of the game. If you have a Switch, all you got to do is share this episode in your stories on Instagram or retweet our new episode post. It's usually our pinned post after the new episode comes out on Twitter, and you're automatically entered to win, and we'll announce those winners on next week's show, and we'll DM you and we'll send you some stickers and that code. So that's it though for Walk That Toy Aisle.
Yeah,
DJ?
we should play like that Will Smith song on the on the listening part of this over that announcement for Switch.
Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with that. All right, man. Let's move into Falls Count Anywhere. This show is just flying along, man. We're into Falls Count Anywhere already. MLB opening day was today.
Yeah.
Red Sox got rained out, which sucks. I had the day off today, actually. And
it's all right. My team lost 8-5 for after the ring ceremony, and then we started batting practice after that.
Well, yeah, I guess at least the Red Sox didn't lose. But I like to try to take opening day off and watch it. And I'm like, cool, man. I got like some errands to run in the morning. I'll take the day off and watch the game. Kid had a half day. And they called it at like 9:00 in the morning this morning because there was so much rain here. So they're just gonna play. It'll be Friday when this episode comes out that they'll play their home opener. So
doubleheader.
No, they're just playing one.
Right.
What's your because that was supposed to be an off day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What's your expectations, man, for the Dodgers this year? Think they're repeating?
I think they're going to repeat. I think they did a good job at getting more pitching, even though they didn't show up today. But they at least got. I was worried about that because I was like, oh man, are we gonna? We can't just like Kershaw is like I would say like a third guy in the rotation now. Like, and that's just father time. I'm not saying he sucks. And so is David Price. Like David Price is right around that too.
I was gonna say, dude, like you guys have so much pitching that David Price is like
he's in the bullpen. He's
either in the bullpen or he's like the fifth starter. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a middle relief guy right now. And then I guess if somebody's tired, then he can go out and start. So they did that part, which I was I was very satisfied with. And we got Mookie, and they re-signed everybody they needed to re-sign. So I say we do it again.
All right. I'm not expecting much from the Red Sox this year, man. I want to be excited, but at the same time, I'm like, man, they haven't really done much. They did. They signed.
What they do?
They signed KK Hernandez or Kiki Hernandez, however you say it.
From us.
Yeah, from you guys. Yep. Really, that's it though. Like they haven't really done much, man. They're just no.
Yeah, Kiki's a clutch. He is a clutch hitter, but he can't like carry a team though. He's not that kind of player. No. So I think we're in a bridge year, a rebuilding year, and we'll go from there. But I'm just excited. Baseball's back with fans. It was packed here, like in Oakland. Like I can see the people lining, like the exit for people to go to the Coliseum was lined with people.
Nice. I have that game on right now, actually. 0-0 as we record. Oakland and Houston. But yeah, man, like it's just nice having fans back to things. I actually scored Boston Bruins tickets. So I'm taking my son. We're gonna have to figure out that might be a Q&A episode week because it's a Thursday night we're going. So we might have to record on like a Wednesday and do our
ranking show.
Q&A. Yeah, there we go. Q&A episode or something. But yeah, it's just they fell into my lap and the price was right. I was like, hell yeah, we're going. I don't care who they're even. They're playing the Buffalo Sabres, which like my kids' team could beat the Sabres right now at this point. But I'm just like, you know what? It's just going to be good to go. Let's just go. So, like I said, price is right. We'll go and have a good time. It's good to kind of get back in the swing of real life here. So,
right.
All right, man. What are you watching this week, DJ?
I watched a couple of things. Like this. In fact, this afternoon I watched Godzilla versus King Kong on HBO Max.
I was going to talk about that. I kind of want to dive into that. I'm not sure what to expect, but that might be a good thing. So I might actually grab.
I won't say
all right.
I won't give my review yet. I'll let people watch it. And then maybe the next episode when we get to this, I'll give my thoughts. But I do a movie I feel like everybody must watch. like if you're a fan of this podcast, then you're probably going to be a fan of this movie, and it's Bad Trip on Netflix.
You guys keep talking about that in the group chat.
Yes.
And I'm like, I've never even heard of it, but I'm going to make it so I watch it this weekend.
Right. Hopefully it just came out last weekend.
Okay. Hopefully with the wife, we're going to watch it.
Yeah. So it's basically like, without even I'm not going to even give away anything of the plot, but it is one of these movies where it's like Bad Grandpa, where they have scenes where the people that are in the scene, they don't know they're in a movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that it's that kind of a movie, and
Gotcha.
And then all of this crazy stuff happens, and you get these real life reactions from the people that are in the room with these crazy people. So
yep.
As they're having a movie, like it's a movie with a plot line that's going, but these people just and then you even see in the after credits, like when they reveal to the people that they're in a movie and they start laughing. So
gotcha.
Telling you. I was like, I don't know if I like, and it was at the right time for me. I had just had my second dose of a vaccine, and it was the day where I was not feeling well. Like I had to lay down. So I was like, okay, let me put something funny on. And that got me, like, this movie got me through it. So
nice.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
I watched The Last Blockbuster on Netflix.
Yeah.
This brought me back, dude. I used to work at Blockbuster.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So this brought me way back, man. I was itching to book a trip to Oregon, to Bend, Oregon, to go see The Last Blockbuster. It's a little long. Like, I think it could have ended probably like a half hour earlier. They could have cut some stuff out, but it's entertaining. It's good. It's very interesting. And man, I miss going to a Blockbuster on a Friday night.
It was kind of like, and even like a date, like it was like before Netflix and chill. Like
they say that they say that in the documentary.
Yeah, this was like a date thing. You like, hey, let's go to Blockbuster. You get one, I get one.
Before I worked there was one up the street from like where I grew up. And I remember on days off from school, like once I got to be like 12, 13 or whatever, my mom would leave me, like if I had no school or whatever, my mom would leave me like $10 and I could go to McDonald's, which was right there, and Blockbuster, and get like a number 2 and a movie or a video game and and walk back and just like, I don't know. I just have such fond memories of that. So
isn't it funny how that sounds like when our parents used to be like, oh, for $5 you can get groceries and fill your gas tank. And that's what that sounds like nowadays, because you can't get a combo meal for $10 at McDonald's anymore.
No way. I also when I worked there, I would buy, because you could buy the movies after they were on the shelf for so long.
That's
or whatever.
True. That's true.
So I bought a bunch of WWE or WWF at the time VHSs. I had like In Your House Fully Loaded and Royal Rumble 2000 and stuff like that. So a lot of fun memories, man. And you could rent like, I think it was like 5 or 6 videos a week you could rent on your, like when you worked there for free.
Oh,
crazy. It's crazy. Well, they wanted you to make that, Tommy's Picks.
Shelf. And then be able to tell customers like, hey, when they come up to you, hey, what's this movie like? And then you can say, oh,
exactly.
Yeah,
it's the shit.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
It's definitely worth checking out. Check out the Last Blockbuster on Netflix. But
I think I will.
DJ, this show flew by, man. It's time to wrap things up already. Thanks for that interview. Thanks to that interview, I should say.
Yes.
It feels like a quick night here. So we're going to start wrapping things up.
We got a big week next week, man. Like,
we're going to go rest.
I'm about to say, don't expect this next week because we're and especially and then the WrestleMania review.
Right. Oh man, we got to figure that out. Lots of work to do here. So let's wrap up with some shout outs. We got the Fig Cave podcast, of course, with Phil Gentile. He did a great episode this week with a Q&A episode. He even talks about the podcast he used to be on. Cliffhanger. Bump, 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 dramatic music. Make sure you check out that episode. You can also, if you're interested in collar and elbow shirts, which are amazing shirts, I still have to place my order here. But go to collar, I think it's collar and elbow brand.com, and you can use the code CAVE for 10% off any of their shirts. They got some awesome shirts over there. Of course, check out figurecollections.com. If you're looking for the Nick Aldis Cella retro, you can go to figurecollections.com/store and grab yourself that. Virtual Suplex, shout out to him. He's always retweeting and sharing our stuff. Extra Cooler, who makes most of our logos and everything.
What an artist. Just a great artist.
He's the best. We got to shout out Kenny at to call up. He just interviewed Moose from TNA. He's got some other big interviews coming up. He had Heath Slater on. So check him out on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. The WrestleGeddon podcast, Coming Down the Aisle, Turnbuckle Tavern, Buy, Sell, Trade Toys on Instagram. Don't forget to use that code RUN10 for 10% off. Also, Keystone Collectibles. We've talked about this guy before. It's KeystoneRetro.com, and you can use the code RUN10 for 10% off at his store as well. And then you can also use the code RUN_IN for 10% off over at HeroesHideout.com. You can also follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/The Run-In Podcast. Our episodes are now up there, so you can watch this episode. I'm trying to get them up there early. I was waiting until Mondays to post them, but I'm just like, whatever. When they're ready, they're ready. I'm going to put them up. So I'm trying to get them up there a little bit earlier than Monday so that the stuff that's up there isn't old. So check that out. Subscribe, like our videos, comment on them. Help us get those numbers up a little bit there. ProWrestlingTees.com/RunInPod. Buy a shirt. We got the Lake Show, Beantown, the Retro Arcade shirts up there now. Whew, deep breath. Twitter.com, over at Twitter, you can follow us at the Run-In or at Run-In Podcast. Instagram is at Run-In Pod. Don't forget, I'm counting down 32 days to WrestleMania of wrestling t-shirts. DJ's doing figures. We got a few days left, and of course, we got the Elite 8 of our Munch Madness bracket going on. It's going to be over by next week. We'll be announcing the winner next week on next week's show. So make sure you're voting.
It's heated. Every vote counts. I would just say that. Like, we getting like 51 to 49%.
Yeah, there's a couple of those this week. My prediction is it's going to be Wendy's and Chick-fil-A in the final. Wendy's going up against Chick-fil-A in the final. So
that's interesting.
We got to actually check the standings of our actual March Madness tournament that we got going on. Because DJ, you were at the top. You and Zach Egolf are up at the top. I sucked, man. I picked Ohio State, and they just that's
regional boy.
Regional? How am I regional by picking Ohio State?
They're closer, they're on that side of the Mason-Dixon line.
Oh,
or the Mississippi, I should say.
That's a reach, bro. That's a reach.
Aren't they in the Big East or whatever?
No, they're in the Big Ten.
Big Ten, huh? That's still closer to you.
Jesus,
that's all right. I think I'll take this thing.
Yeah. I did pick UCLA actually.
UCLA is doing great. And so I grew up a USC fan. Like, so when you grow up in LA, you're one or the other. It's either USC or UCLA. You can't do both. And so SC was my school because, it's closer to where I lived. So here's a myth here. So UCLA people like to call USC the University of Spoiled Children, right? Because it's a private school. All right. But UCLA is in Westwood. So Westwood is like posh and, so like where you'll see Kardashians and stuff going to shop. Whereas SC is like, it should be the University of South Central because it's right next to South Central LA. So they're more in the hood than UCLA is. So total myth, total myth. And so yeah, I was rooting. Even though I picked Gonzaga to win this thing, I still was kind of rooting for SC at the same time. Like it's like, but for the sake of my bracket, I wanted Gonzaga to win. But just for like SC to finally win something in basketball, I was rooting for them. But they had a good run though.
Yeah. All right. DJ, hit him with your Twitter and your Instagram.
So both of them, Fig Night 27, not LA Night, FIG KNIGHT 27.
All right, and I'm at Tommy Paradise, PAIRODICE on both Instagram and Twitter. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We're excited for the WrestleMania week. Also, don't forget, if you want a free copy of RetroMania for the Switch, all you got to do is retweet our episode, our pin tweet on our Twitter, or share this episode in your Instagram story. Tag us so we see it, and we'll pick two winners next week to grab that free version of Retro Mania for the Switch. And again, we'll get more codes to give away once the PlayStation episode or edition is available. Thanks again to Mike from Retro Studios for coming on the Run-In podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, share, review, rate, all that stuff. Tell a friend, tell your mom, tell everybody. Thank you guys for listening. Good night.